Good evening. It is just gone 4 p.m, 10 past 4 Eastern time, or 9 p.m. here in the UK, and I'm just going to recap my trades for today. Finished the day pretty much in the green, in fact decent green day. I caught at the top, I didn't get out near the bottom now. On hindsight it's only midway, but at the time it was a decent trade, decent bottom. Am I annoyed that I didn't hold? Maybe, but I'll get into that trade right now. So going back to my pre-market video this morning, I talked about this channel. I said, in fact, let's just get it back up. This is my game plan for today. You can see that I said that I'm watching 48.24 for a reject of all-time highs. That's the top of a supply zone, and 48.20 is an area of confidence and the start of a supply zone. So that area on the chart is this area here, which is around. So that's the area I was watching for a rejection. And then I also said in my plan that I was watching a bounce at 48.02, which happens to be the 50 moving average. 47.88 was watching for a bounce. And I always give myself just a pre-market scenario, so it kind of sets my mind in the right direction when the market opens. So I said, if we see a bit of a sell-off, then watch for the bounces. 4800 and 47.88. Obviously, that's a psychological number. Said about the 50 moving average, but a better bounce is at the 47.88 area, which is an area of confluence. Quick reminder that there's news today, so I know not to be in trades during those times. I also said if we see a bit of a market rally, then the supply zone is a rejection area. So I want to average in with a starter position, then add another all-time high. And I put in a chart of where we were when I did the pre-market video, which is about 9:15 a.m. this morning Eastern time. And obviously that's my notes when I'm doing the trades. I'll go through this in a minute. I want to talk about the bookmap as well. So just a quick one. So I'm going into the 5. So these are the areas I was watching. Basically based on that, I was watching yesterday's high. This is supply zone here, and that's watching that area for a reject back up there. I was also watching for a bounce at 47.88, potentially 4800, that area. I also had another level on this chart as well, which is 47.62, and there's no more bounces really until we get back down to, well, yeah, look at that, it's a bit, we're in the void now. This is the void, so maybe we can expect to see a bit of a gap fill, but we are at long last back at the 200 moving average. That's where we ended today, on the 200 moving average, so pretty significant. So maybe we could see a bounce tomorrow, but we'll find out. But let's just go into my trade for today. So I took a few paper cuts to start off the day, and as you can see, the supply zone was breached. I was watching 48.20 through to 48.24, this area here. And so let me open up my Ninja Trader, because that will show you my trades better. Here we go. So you can see here, I went short as we got to the start of that demand zone. I also added on the top of the demand zone, and if I zoom in a bit, that's better. And then I also kept my stops really tight, and you can't quite see there, but I got in there, I added there, I added again there. So that's my full position, well, 3/4 of a position size, and then I stopped out immediately above it. So hang on, did I? Yeah, I took one off actually, and then I added back down here, and then I stopped out as it broke over. That was my stop. So I was trying to keep it tight because I didn't really want to see it run all the way up and then try and average into a losing trade. Next time, so once I stopped out here, I took out 2 stops there, I added back in. So this is a new trade, so that's my first trade, that one, which failed. And then I took another top, watching these red candles, and I was watching the volume as well, what looked like potentially ending volume and into all-time highs. There was no real level, there's no levels above, so I was kind of just judging it based on volume. I was watching volume and I was watching the imbalance of volume imbalance as well. So here I can see more, this is a volume delta, should I say, cumulative delta, order flow, and I use flow, what are it called? My brain's gone, it's late for me. These candles, volumetric candles, that's what I was trying to say. And you can't really see them because that's such a big move. But they look a bit like that, and it tells me what's going on inside each candle bar, where there is selling and buying, and where there is the point of control, or where the highest level of buying and selling is. I'll go into that in a minute. I did use that. I also use this, which is a bit like bookmap. Tells you where areas of liquidity is, and there's something very interesting today about liquidity, which I'm going to go into as well in a second. So going back to my trades again, I was in, where was it? I was back in there, so I had half a position size there. I was keeping my position size small, but I was also keeping my stops very tight. My stop was above there, and then I added again there. I also added there because I wanted to see whether we were going to reject a double top, but we didn't, and it stopped me out. And so a bit annoying. So that's a failed. That's a second attempt of a failure. I did take another contract there, just thinking maybe a double top we poked through. We had high volume as well, and I think it wasn't really ending volume. It's more thinking maybe we've got an area of resistance. I did look at the footprint charts, the footprint candlesticks as well, and there was an area of confluence up here as well, and I was thinking maybe that was, we broke out and we're going to come back down again, but well, it was just up here, the area of confluence just there. And again, by looking at the footprint, you can see just a 15-minute. I used a 15-minute as well because it gives me more information about each candle. And these yellow areas shows me where the highest amount of volume is on the day on that candle. Around 48.26, there's quite a lot of sellers, quite a lot of volume going on in those areas. And you can tell that as well because we've got the big volume candle here as well, that one there. So, and I was thinking maybe that's actual resistance, so I went short again, and then it broke through and I stopped myself out. Then I saw a higher volume candle, 2 in a row. We had this green candle with a topping tail, so a slight alarm bell, but nothing too spectacular. But as soon as I saw this hammer candle, then that's when I started getting interested again, because that means there's weakness. At one point that was an entire red candle, so showing there's potential weakness up here. So I waited. The next candle, it didn't make a new high, so I went short and short. So I took a couple, so that's a half a position there, and I'm sure I didn't add it. In fact, half position there, another half. No, let's get this right. I was already holding some. I didn't come out of a full size. That's right. So I didn't stop myself totally. I just trimmed my position size up there. But then I added back in, and I added back in there. So I was in a full size by this point. That was a half position. That was half position. And I was confident that because we didn't make a new high, bit extra volume on the red, and we saw extra volume on that hammer candle, that we were probably going to see a bit of a reversal. And so my first target was going to be to get my 3 stop outs prior to that, 1, 2, 3, back to break even. So I took profit there, and I took profit just below the VWAP. So I think I was at break even at this point, and when I got below the VWAP, my account was back in the green for the day. So then I moved my stop down to my break even was always up here. So I moved my stop down to the VWAP, in fact above that pivot, and then I took another one off at 48.10, which was an area of confluence, and then 47.87, that area, which was one of my bounce areas on my plan. I'll just go back to it again. So I think 47.88, that area there, bounce at 47.88. I use that as a target, because if I think it's going to bounce there, then I don't want to be in the trade. And so I got out there, and that was me done. I was out of the trade, so I got it from the top all the way down that point now. I saw it come down, it came all the way back up, and I thought, okay, that's a good out, because you know you've got to find the bottom somewhere. But it was still showing significant weakness. Maybe if I had a couple of contracts left by the time I got down to I only had one contract left at this point. If I had like another contract left by the time I got down there, maybe I could have just held and see whether I can get the end of day hold or something. Again, I'm working on that side of thing, holding to the end of day. It would have been quite a decent trade if I did that. And where we closed there, so look at that, we closed solid red today. And that's it. So these are the candlestick bars I make use of quite a lot, and that's a 15-minute. It's hard to read when we have big moving days, but what I'm looking for on these candlesticks is areas of high congested volume, a bit like these where I get these volume profiles, a bit like a volume profile per candle. So I know that's where the volume's happening there in that area. I'm also looking for lots of buying and selling. So if I, for example, here I don't see many buyers coming in, so it doesn't look like we're going to be pushing up any further, but we're getting lots of selling on the aggressive selling on the bid. So that's what I'm watching for. And then you can see this is a pretty undecided candle. I know we've got a big wide range candle, but it's pretty undecided, pretty much match. The buyers and the sellers are matching each other in that one. And then you can see here clearly we've got more buyers and sellers. I know we've got a green candle, but I can see this is the area where congestion. So if I'm at a bottom and I'm trying to find an area where there's buyers, then it'll help me kind of zone in and find where I can get a better entry or exit. And I'll be honest, I didn't really use it when I took my exit earlier, which is a bit annoying because maybe I could have just come out of that. Here we go. And I normally have it zoomed in so I can see a few candles at a time. And you can see areas of congested volume as well where you got the yellow lines. That shows me the highest amount of volume trade in that candle. So you can kind of see support down here and resistance up here, and that's kind of how I use it. And mainly I'm just looking to see where the buyers and sellers are in the candle for if I'm going to make an entry or if I'm trying to find an exit. And that's it. I also make use of this equivalent of bookmap, but one thing I do want to show you on bookmap, I'll show you on the screenshot I took. Obviously I put my positions in and I put my trades in so I can like to journal them. But this one here, look at, I took a better screenshot, let's get it full size, and it's something really interesting, and that's the other reason why I was confident going short, because I use Think with Bookmap, and it's a decent YouTube channel and shows you the ES levels, and something very unusual which I've not seen or haven't seen for a long time. All-time highs. Normally I'm used to seeing areas of liquidity like that on, or like we've got down here. This is a zoomed out. You've got two charts here. You've got a local chart, you've got a zoomed out chart, so you can see where all the levels are. And what you usually see, I wonder if I open up Bookmap right now. So what I'm expecting to see is you can see that area there, 48.30. I'm just opening up Bookmap again. So I'll leave the link to this in the description below because it's pretty decent. But what I'm looking for on here is a bit like looking at level 2, which I can show you on my trading on my Ninja platform. But this is a visual representation of level 2. And what I'm looking for on the zoomed out part of the chart, this area here, is like down here, big areas where there's buyers or sellers. Where there's buyers down there, there's limit orders, buy limit orders, and I'm also looking for sell limit orders up here. And what is really unusual, like you can see now that the current price is at 70.50. That's the current price here, and you've got sellers and buyers above and below, and that's kind of expected. But you also see areas of significant areas of sellers sitting up there as well, and down here kind of gives you an idea. And if I see lots of stacked areas as well, potentially the price is drawn to these areas. It'll take out that one, then it'll take out that one, then it'll take out that one, and that's where it may just hover around reverse and come back down to liquidity below. But the strange thing is today is when we got to the all-time highs, we had no liquidity above, or very little liquidity, and you had some localized liquidity, not much, you know, in the hundreds, but you normally see like 200s, 300s, 400s, 500s. Like you got down here, you got 428 and 300, and that's why you've got a big red zone. But above it was void of everything, so there's no liquidity above. So that's why I added on my trade as well, knowing that there was no potential liquidity I wanted to go up towards. And you can see exactly what happened. And go back to there, and you can see what happened. It just totally tanked, and that's the story of today. So decent day, really decent day. And reading level 2, I do read level 2 on here as well. So we look below, above. So this is the bid, that's the ask, and you can see on the bid and the ask that we got small. I know it's aftermarket now, so we've got some buy limit orders sitting at these levels, and we've got the sell. So there's more sellers sitting at these levels. So we're probably going to see the price get drawn like a magnet up towards 47.52. We're at 47.75 now, so it's probably going to be drawn up to that area to allow these sellers to sell. And but when I'm looking for areas where it's 300 or above really, and that gives me an idea where there's liquidity. You've got this area here, 250. I could probably use a better colour pen. So we've got 253 orders. Let's move now. 254 orders just here. Again, this is post market, so it's not very fast moving, and the orders are much lower than normal. And then you've got nothing on the sale, nothing of significance, all in the hundreds. So the highest was 164, 173. And that's what I'm watching while I'm trading. I'm looking for high orders here, and then I'm watching the level 2 to see whether we get any follow through. And you can see follow through on bookmap quite easily as well. Follow through is basically, if you've got a level there, I'll put my pen back again. If you get a level here, and then you've got big green bubble, and it follows through, and then you've got some more green bubbles, big green bubbles, then you know you get more follow through, and you can see the price go through those levels. But if you get small green and then a big couple of red in a row, then you know that's a reject in those areas, and then you can potentially either look for a short, or if you're long, maybe it's a signal to get out. That's basically how I see it. And level 2 has really helped my trading recently. So, and I said I just want to go through that quickly. Like I said, I use the I've got a couple of controls here I use on NinjaTrader. You've got these bubbles similar to bookmap, where it shows me lots of sellers and buyers as well. And also I've got areas, it shows me areas of liquidity. It's not very clear on it because it's post market, but you can see lots of orders coming, lots of sellers, sell. So it just went all the way through them all. So there's lots of things you can use to enhance your trading. Me personally, I like looking at level 2. I like looking at the volume delta as well. So the volume delta is basically similar to what you get at the bottom of a footprint chart. So you've got the delta here, you've got the volume, the deltas. So it's a good example. Probably not here, but I'm looking at the delta. So if I see red candles in the delta or negative delta, but we have a big green candle, it means there's more sellers in that green candle than there's buyers, and you could look for a potential reversal in those areas if you're looking at coming into a level to reverse. And I'm trying to find a good example. There's probably not many here where it's green but it's a red candle, or red when it's green. Here you go, here's a good example here. So this candle here is a red candle but with topping tail and bottom tail, and we had a positive delta, 227 orders more than sales. So even though that looks like a negative candle, that's telling me that we've had more buyers in that candle than sellers, and it kind of gives you a clue of what could happen next. And then you can probably see we had a few, and we're not getting as big numbers as before. Look, we've got small candles, higher volume, and then you see when they get highlighted, the lighter it is, the higher the amount of volume in that candle. So we had quite a lot of volume coming into that candle. You can see that yellow line, that's the volume point of control area where the most volume is in that candle. Couldn't get past it. And again, this is pre-market hours, so there's not really much going on right now. Still got some volume going on, but we've got lots of buyers. So look, this is a red candle right now. I wonder if I can make it bigger. Here you go. So a few seconds ago, there's a red candle, but we've got a positive imbalance at the moment, a positive delta. So as it is right now, there's more buyers on this candle than there is sellers. So we may see that just push up. And we did say, was it 52 area? Maybe is where it's heading to next. But yeah, so that's it really. So now it's a green candle. But just all these little tiny tools help enhance your trading. And the more you stay at level 2, the easier it is to read as well. So there we go, getting a bit of a push. That's like that yellow there, it goes through, that's broken. We had lots of buyers come in at that level previously, so maybe we'll get more buyers coming at that level again. Anyway, I'm not going to drag this video out anymore. Thank you for watching. Just a quick one. If you do trade Ninja Trader, there was a bug on the copier, the Apex copier, and it might be worth just sticking to version 9 until they get version 10 working properly. Every day this week, I go into put my copied accounts in, but it's never selected. You have to go in and manually select it yourself, which is really frustrating. And the amount of times I got into trades where I've only got into one account, and with Apex I trade up to, at the moment I think I've got about 18 accounts. I'm trading up to 18 accounts. Most of them are eval accounts, and in fact all of them are, which I'm trading at the moment, and I'm just building them up slowly. And the idea is, all I needed to make is say $50 a day on say 10 accounts, and that's a $500 day. $50 is just one very small low risk move. So that's why I recommend using Apex. And I'm just quickly looking at the futures. Yeah, it's still looking weak. Right, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I will be back tomorrow at 9 AM Eastern time to go through my pre-market levels again. Okay, thank you for watching.